April 16th, 2026, 11:30 a.m., Naples, Italy. 300 carabinieri surround Credit Agricole. Inside, 25 hostages lie on marble floors while masked men move among them with the calm of waiters, not robbers. No shouting, no gunshots. One of them is humming an old Neapolitan folk song. The negotiator thinks he is dealing with amateurs. He is wrong. Because while every officer in Naples watches the front door, a fourth man is already beneath their feet. He has been there for 3 weeks, and in 17 minutes, these 4 men will disappear into a tunnel that does not exist on any map. They will leave behind hostages who describe them as polite. They will leave behind a demand for 25 cannoli from the oldest pastry shop in Naples. They will leave behind a live feed watched by 40,000 people who cheer for their escape. And they will leave behind a question that haunts southern Italy. Who builds a tunnel into a bank vault in the age of digital banking? How did 4 men outsmart an entire city? And where are they now? This is the Naples Sewer Heist. March 2025. The engineer sits in a cramped office in the Spanish Quarter, staring at blueprints of Naples' subterranean infrastructure. The city beneath the city. Greek cisterns, Roman aqueducts, Bourbon-era drainage systems that still carry waste to the Bay of Naples. He is not a criminal. He is a man with skills and a grievance. He watched ordinary people's savings evaporate when banks collapsed. The state reimbursed wealthy depositors. Small account holders received nothing. He begins mapping the sewers, not for engineering pride, for the possibility that the system above ground can be reached from below. He calls the insider, a man who worked at financial institutions until restructuring eliminated his position 3 months before his contract would have guaranteed permanent status. The insider knows vault layouts. He knows camera blind spots. He knows that on Friday afternoons, wealthy clients visit their safe deposit boxes before weekend trips. He also knows something else. After the banking crises, those boxes filled with untraceable assets, cash, gold, bearer bonds, documents proving tax evasion that no owner would ever report stolen. They need 2 more men, not muscle, knowledge. The face. Retired from private security after 20 years guarding Naples' jewelry district. He never fired his weapon. He never needed to. His skill was reading body language, knowing when someone was about to run, about to fight, about to freeze. He would handle the hostages. He would make them comfortable enough to comply, uncomfortable enough to stay still. The guide. Grew up in the Quartieri Spagnoli. He knows every alley that dead ends, every courtyard with 2 exits, every shopkeeper who will pretend he saw nothing. He also knows the sewers. As a child, he played in them. As a teenager, he hid in them. The tunnels beneath Naples are his second home. 4 men, 4 functions, 1 target. But here is what makes this different from every Camorra hit, every clan extortion. These men are not soldiers. They are not taking orders from bosses. They answer to no one. Or do they? The question will haunt investigators. The Camorra connection that everyone assumes, no one can prove. A cousin who knows a cousin. A favor asked, a favor denied. The ambiguity protects them. Maybe they are independent. Maybe they are protected. In Naples, the difference is survival. The Camorra. Born in the Spanish Quarter when Naples was a kingdom, not a country, older than Italy itself. Unlike the Sicilian Mafia's pyramid, Camorra clans operate independently. No single boss to arrest, no single ledger to seize. If one clan protected this heist, another might not even know. Their activities are infrastructure, drug trafficking, extortion, money laundering, construction racketeering, waste management fraud. They do not rob banks. They launder through them, extort construction contracts, control waste disposal. But safe deposit boxes? Boxes hold secrets. Secrets are leverage, and leverage is the Camorra's real currency. Their notoriety is measured in body counts. Clan wars that killed hundreds. Infiltration of local politics and economy. Roberto Saviano's Camorra showed the world a city where crime is infrastructure. But this heist felt different. Less Camorra, more performance art. The preparation begins in January 2026. The engineer enters the sewers at 2 a.m. wearing a wetsuit and headlamp. The tunnels reek of ammonia and salt water. Rats scatter from his light. He measures distances with a laser tool wrapped in plastic. The main drainage channel runs directly beneath Via Toledo, 3 meters below Credit Agricole's vault floor. Separating them, 70 centimeters of reinforced concrete, 2 layers of waterproof membrane, and a century of calcified sediment. He designs a system. Pneumatic drills modified with rubber housings to absorb vibration. Water pumps running on marine batteries to manage flooding. Reinforced steel ribs to prevent collapse. The equipment costs €12,000. They fund it through careful street-level crime. Boosted luxury cars, warehouse electronics. Nothing that would draw federal attention. The engineer works in 12-minute intervals, then stops to listen. 12 minutes of drilling. 3 minutes of silence, ear pressed to concrete, waiting for footsteps, alarms, shouts from above. The concrete is harder than expected. The membrane, installed in a 2019 renovation, contains Kevlar fibers that chew through drill bits. He works 3 nights per week. Rain delays him. Flooding forces retreat. Once he encounters a maintenance crew inspecting storm drains. He submerges himself in sewage, breathing through a snorkel until they pass. By late March 2026, he has penetrated the final layer. The hole is 40 centimeters wide, just enough for a man to squeeze through, dragging a waterproof bag. He photographs the vault floor from below, memorizing the tile pattern. He seals the opening with hydraulic cement that he can shatter with a single hammer blow on the day. Above ground, the face conducts surveillance with the patience of a man who spent 20 years standing in doorways. He counts the security rotations. Every 40 minutes, the guard completes a circuit of the lobby. Every 2 hours, he checks the basement door. Every Friday, the armored cash delivery arrives at 10:15 a.m., distracting staff from monitoring vault access. The guide maps the surface escape. From the manhole cover 3 blocks east, 17 routes lead to the harbor. 7 lead to the highway. 3 lead to dead ends where no one would think to search. He times the traffic lights. He identifies the shopkeepers who owe favors, the taxi drivers who ask no questions, the old women who sit on balconies watching everything and saying nothing. The insider scripts the upstairs performance, not a hostage crisis, a temporary inconvenience. The tone matters. The words matter. They are not terrorists. They are not Camorra. They are men with a schedule and a deadline. He writes the absurd demand. 25 cannoli from Pasticceria Scaturcio, founded 1905. The oldest, most famous, most bureaucratically complicated pastry shop in Naples. Each cannolo must be filled to order. Ricotta from sheep grazed on specific hills. Chocolate chips from a single importer. The order will take 45 minutes minimum. Police will laugh. Police will debate. Police will approve the delivery to build rapport. While they laugh, the vault empties. April 16th, 2026, 11:23 a.m. The engineer descends through the manhole at Via Toledo, wearing coveralls and carrying a waterproof duffel. The tunnel is 300 meters of darkness, humidity, and the permanent stench of ancient waste. He reaches the sealed entrance. One strike with his hammer. The cement plug crumbles. He is inside the vault. Above him, the face, the insider, and the guide enter Credit Agricole's front door. Business casual. Blazers. No masks yet. They approach the information desk. The face asks about mortgage rates. The moment the security guard turns to retrieve a brochure, the face produces his weapon. It is a replica Beretta, weighted with lead, capable of firing blanks that sound like thunder, but kill no one. The guard freezes. The face's voice carries the authority of 2 decades in security. Nobody move. This is temporary. Cooperate, and you will eat lunch at home. The insider locks the front door. The guide herds the 25 customers and staff against the far wall. They work with surgical precision. No shouting, no threats beyond presence. Within 90 seconds, they control the entire bank. By 11:31 a.m., the first emergency call reaches police. By 11:38 a.m., 40 Carabinieri units surround the building. By 11:52 a.m., 300 officers establish a perimeter. Helicopters circle. Snipers position on rooftops. The live feed begins. A bystander streams from across the street. 40,000 people watch within the first hour. The comments section becomes a stadium. Let them go. This is cinema. Naples against the banks. The robbers become performers in a national theater. Inside, the face begins his dialogue. He sounds apologetic, almost embarrassed. We do not want anyone uncomfortable. We just need time to complete our business. He releases a pregnant woman to use the restroom, then allows her to leave entirely. She needs air, he tells police by phone. I remember my wife pregnant. You cannot breathe in these situations. The negotiator, a veteran named Captain Elena Marchetti, has handled 3 bank sieges. None like this. The robbers know her protocols. They know she will offer food to build trust. They know she will delay tactical entry to protect hostages. They are not negotiating. They are following the script. At 12:17 p.m., the face makes the demand. We need 25 cannoli, pasticceria scaturcio, ricotta, not cream, chocolate chips, not candied fruit. Enough for everyone, hostages included. Captain Marchetti laughs. She cannot help it. Cannoli? Now? Good food makes good decisions, the face replies. You want us calm? We want sugar. The request travels up the chain. The commissioner laughs. The prefect laughs. Everyone laughs at these amateurs demanding pastry during a siege. They approve the order. A carabinieri escort collects the pastries. The shopkeeper, unaware of the purpose, remarks that it is his largest single order in months. At 12:47 p.m., delivery arrives. The smell of fried dough and ricotta fills the lobby. Hostages eat nervously. One elderly man later describes it as the best cannolo of my life, which makes no sense, but nothing made sense. The face eats with them, chatting about football, about the weather, about how the bank's air conditioning never worked properly. Police psychologists interpret the feast as positive. The robbers are humanizing their captives. They are building dependency. They are preparing for surrender. They are wrong. Below, the engineer works with mechanical rhythm. The vault contains 187 safe deposit boxes. He opens them with a pneumatic ram designed for his engineering work. Modified to be silent. Modified to leave no tool marks. Box 12 explodes with 400,000 euros in mixed denominations. Box 34 contains gold bars stamped with dates from the 1920s. Box 67 holds bearer bonds drawn on a Luxembourg account. Box 89 contains nothing but a handwritten love letter and a photograph. The engineer leaves these untouched. He works systematically. Left wall, center column, right wall. Some boxes contain family jewelry, passports, deeds. These he ignores. Others burst with cash so dense it seems counterfeit. One box holds cut diamonds that scatter across the floor like ice. He sweeps them into his bag with a dustpan. By 1:07 p.m., he has opened 41 boxes. The duffel bags bulge with approximately 14 million euros in mixed currencies, gold, and untraceable assets. He checks his watch. Time to go. He tapes a note to the wall. In elegant cursive, written with a fountain pen he found in box 15. Senza armi né rancore, e solo denaro, non amore. Without weapons or grudges. It is just money, not love. He lowers himself back through the hole. The bags follow on a rope. He seals the opening with fresh cement from his pack. From above, the vault floor looks untouched. The hole is invisible. At 1:12 p.m., the face tells Captain Marchetti, "We are preparing to release everyone. 5 minutes. Please do not storm." He hangs up. At 1:14 p.m., the engineer loads the bags onto an inflatable raft. He paddles through darkness toward the prearranged manhole. 3 blocks away, a white Fiat Ducato van idles with its hazard lights on. The driver is a woman no one has met. She will be paid 2,000 euros. She will never know the men's names. At 1:17 p.m., the face leads the hostages to the basement conference room. "Stay here. Do not move for 10 minutes. The door is not locked, but please respect our request." He places the replica weapons on the table. He and the insider and the guide descend through a maintenance closet, down a ladder, into a secondary tunnel that connects to the engineer's route. At 1:23 p.m., while police still surround Crédit Agricole, the 4 men are already in traffic. The van merges onto the autostrada. The live feed continues. 40,000 people watch an empty bank. At 1:31 p.m., the first hostage opens the conference room door. The lobby is empty. The cannoli boxes remain. The replica weapons sit on the table like museum pieces. The front door is unlocked. At 1:45 p.m., Carabinieri storm the building. Flash grenades explode. Officers sweep rooms shouting clear. They find 25 hostages, confused but unharmed. They find pastry boxes. They find toy guns. They find no robbers. Captain Marchetti radios headquarters. The subjects have vanished. Silence on all channels. Then someone asks, "What do you mean vanished?" By 3 p.m., the story dominates every screen in Italy. News anchors struggle between outrage and amazement. They disappeared like ghosts. The heist of the decade. Carabinieri fooled by cannoli and toy guns. The live feed footage becomes instant legend. The face helping an elderly hostage to a chair. The insider joking about the bank's coffee. The guide humming while counting hostages. The absurdity disarms the public. These are not terrorists. They are not killers. They are performers who embarrassed authority without bruising it. Talk show hosts debate whether to condemn or applaud. Callers flood radio stations. Most support the thieves. "They robbed the rich without blood," says one caller from Bari. "After banks took everything in 2008, this is justice." International media descends on Naples. BBC calls it brilliantly audacious. Le Monde compares it to Arsène Lupin. The New York Times interviews a hostage who describes the face as the most polite man who ever pointed a fake gun at me. The note becomes a slogan. T-shirts appear within 48 hours. Senza armi né rancor. Students in Rome graffiti it on bank walls. A Neapolitan rapper samples the face's phone call into a track that reaches number 3 on Italian Spotify. Police launch Italy's largest manhunt. Forensic teams vacuum every inch of Crédit Agricole. They find bleach poured on surfaces, destroying DNA. They find hair samples that trace to 3 different barbershops, all false leads planted deliberately. The abandoned van contains nothing but dust. The tunnel, when finally discovered 3 days later, offers no fingerprints. The cement seal and bleach wash saw to that. Detectives interview 300 witnesses. They analyze 10,000 hours of footage. They chase 800 leads. Every trail ends in the sewers, where water and time erase everything. By June 2026, the investigation stalls. No suspects, no arrests, no progress. The Interior Minister promises results. The Justice Minister demands action, but the public laughs at both. Graffiti appears across Naples, Crédit Agricole 0, Napoli 4. A local football chant is rewritten with the robber's legend. The 4 men have become folk heroes, but legends do not spend money. Legends do not buy houses. Legends do not explain how 14 million euros in untraceable assets moves through an economy without detection. Unless the legends are not legends, unless they are employees. They are still out there. This is what we know. This is what we do not. Theory 1. The Camorra connection. The Camorra does not rob banks, but the Camorra protects. What if a clan boss paid for the removal of evidence in neighboring boxes? What if silence was the real currency? Investigators found no Camorra fingerprints. But in Naples, the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. It is the Camorra's signature. Theory 2. The inside job. Someone with knowledge worked at financial institutions. Someone who knew the 2019 renovation left a corner vulnerable. Someone who knew Friday afternoons brought the richest clients. Someone who knew the security guard had filed 3 complaints about basement humidity that were ignored by management. A guard who retired in March 2026, who moved to Sardinia, who bought a house cash, who tells reporters he won the lottery. No ticket exists. No bank transfer appears. He is not a suspect. He is a coincidence. Coincidences in Naples are rarely coincidental. Theory 3. The professional crew. Eastern European heist teams have operated in Italy since 2015. Serbian tunnel experts, Romanian engineers, Polish precision. They arrive, execute, vanish. But this crew spoke Neapolitan dialect. They knew pasticceria scaturcio. They hummed folk songs from the 1950s. Unless the professionals hired locals, unless the engineer and the insider and the face and the guide were contractors, paid by a larger organization that planned to take 60% of the loot. The locals would not know the ultimate client. They would not need to. They would only need to trust that their payment would arrive. It has not arrived. Or it has, in ways invisible to investigators. Theory 4. The independent artists. Maybe there is no Camorra, no inside job, no foreign professionals. Maybe 4 men with skills and grievances executed the most elegant crime in Italian history, then dispersed like smoke. Maybe the engineer's firm closed in July 2026, officially bankruptcy. No employees laid off, no creditors pursuing. Simply ended. Maybe the insider's apartment in the Spanish Quarter sits empty. Neighbors say he went north. No forwarding address. Maybe the Face's security consultancy continues operating. His wife answers calls. He is traveling for business. He has been traveling for 4 months. Maybe the guide's mother receives money orders monthly. She does not know from whom. She does not ask. The 14 million remains missing. Not laundered through casinos. Not invested in property. Not deposited in foreign accounts traced by Interpol. Simply absent. Like the men themselves. What makes a crime perfect? Not the money. Money is spent, traced, recovered. Not the method. Methods are analyzed, replicated, prevented. A perfect crime is one that changes the story about what crime means. The Naples heist changed the story. It turned robbers into artists. It turned hostages into audiences. It turned police into unwitting extras in a performance they did not know they were giving. The hostages were not traumatized. They were entertained. The pregnant woman released early now tells her child about the nice man who let me use the bathroom. The elderly man who ate the cannolo now returns to pasticceria scaturcio every April 16th, ordering the same pastry, remembering the surreal. This is the uncomfortable truth. The robbers did not need violence because they understood something about human psychology that professionals often forget. People will cooperate with those who treat them as people. The cannoli was not misdirection. It was respect. The humming was not arrogance. It was reassurance. They robbed a bank using courtesy and choreography. They vanished using infrastructure older than Italy itself. They became legends by refusing to become villains. And they are still out there. Maybe in Sardinia, where a retired guard bought his house. Maybe in Eastern Europe, where professionals retire. Maybe in Naples itself, walking the same streets, unrecognized because we are looking for masks they no longer wear. The tunnel beneath Credit Agricole has been sealed. The vault has been redesigned. The security protocols have been rewritten. But the sewers of Naples remain. 3,000 kilometers of tunnels beneath a city that has always lived in layers. When they catch them, we will know. We will know if the Camorra protected them. We will know if a guard won a lottery that does not exist. We will know if 4 men can truly outsmart an entire nation, or if the nation simply decided to let them win. But Naples does not wait for answers. Naples knows that some stories are better unresolved, that some ghosts are better left walking, that the perfect crime is not the one that is solved, but the one that is remembered. Senza armi né rancore, e solo denaro, non amore. Without weapons or grudges, it is just money, not love. And in a city that has survived Romans, Normans, Spanish, and every form of oppression, the distinction matters. The 4 men are still out there, or they were never here at all. If you want more stories of impossible crimes and the cities that made them possible, subscribe. Leave a comment. Do you think they were independent, protected, or something else entirely? And as always, thanks for watching.